Hey, it's Justin with Seaboard Marine. In this video, we're going to put the engine in the Restless. Now this one was a little tricky because there's so little room from the fore to aft. You can see the bulkhead. See how close the transmission is to the bulkhead. And you can see how close the front of the engine is to the hatch, or the coaming. So it's quite a trick getting this one in there. We're going to show you how we made the mounts and how we dropped the transmission in, and we kind of tucked it over in the corner. Then we brought the engine in, then we put the two together and got it in position and made it up to the shaft. This was a good challenge here getting this one in here, but we got it. Barely fits. Time to clean it up. Alright, fresh coat of gel coat. You guys doing one or two coats? Two coats. Looks so much better in here. There's the hole for the what do you call it? Keel. There's the hole for the keel cooler. Man, the fiberglass is already getting to me. Alright, fresh coat of gel coat in the engine room. Looking freshened up. Ready for the transmission to set to the shaft. We're going to put a dummy shaft in there. For now, we don't have the final shaft. So we'll put a dummy shaft in there. We set these V-blocks to the shaft location. There's a starboard V-block there, and there's one further back. So that'll hold the shaft right where it needs to go, right where it was before. And then we'll set the gear to that. And then we'll take some measurements and see how the engine's going to fit in here. And we may need to move this pump a little bit. It's just hanging on rope right now anyway, so I'll have to mount it differently than it was before. Okay, dropping in the transmission. Hold there, it's swinging a little bit here. Can you tilt forward? Whoa. Okay, hold it there. Can you back up just a little bit? Okay, hold. We're still about a foot high.
Oh, okay.
This board, I gotta move this board. So the first step is always to get the shaft set in there. Right now we got a dummy shaft here. It's actually the old shaft. We're not going to be using that one though, but it's just to position our coupler. So we got the coupler on the shaft, and then we're going to set the gear to the shaft. Everything's kind of determined from the shaft. And once we have the once we have the gear set in place where it needs to be, then we can work on bracketing, measure for bracketing off the stringers. So this is a DMT 5100. It's a pretty good sized gear, and just putting it in here, we can already see we don't have a ton of space. We're gonna slide that shaft back as far as we can, and there's still a little gap between the coupler and the gear flange, but we're gonna, hopefully the engine will fit between here and here. If not, we either have to cut this out, or we have to cut out the bulkhead and slide the transmission back into a hole in the bulkhead. So one way or another, we're gonna have to shoehorn that engine in here. It just looks like it might just barely fit the engine.
This is gonna be in the way.
The exhaust, yeah.
Yeah, and because everything comes up 7 inches, so the bracket's right here, and here's the center of the engine, like right here.
Right.
19 inches. Yo, yeah. Look at the bracket's gonna be like right here, so this might be in the way too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So we're gonna have to go back, huh? Cut out that bulkhead.
Oh wow.
I mean, we got room in here to come back, right?
Oh yeah. There's no. Oh.
There's nothing in this little area.
No reason we can cut all that out of there.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Alright, so this is a big gear, so we're going with 2 isolators per side. It's a DMT 5100. So, and this is a hollow stringer. Stringer is just fiberglass and it's hollow inside. You can see there in the holes. So we're putting a big plate on top of the stringer to distribute the load across the stringer and distribute it over to the sidewalls of the stringer. So now we're making a plate to fit the 2 isolator studs, and then we have the original transmission mounting plate right here. So then we just need to connect the dots from that plate to that plate, which already has the pins for location and all the bolts drilled. Here's the plates. I like this little setup. I like the setup. It's a little low, but other than that, I like it. So now you're just measuring for the plates in between to connect the dots between.
From here to here.
Yeah. Fabbing up the brackets. So these came with the gear. These came with the transmission. The pins and bolts right to the transmission. Drilled these 2 1-inch holes for the isolators, and then connect the dots with some brackets here. Okay, there's the transmission brackets. Well, they're not welded yet, they're just tacked. Just gonna make sure we like it before we fully weld it up, but that's pretty much it. What are we making, Frank?
Welding up the brackets for the Restless.
Nice looking welds.
The transmission.
Sweet. Those look cool. I like the little jog you did.
It's all about custom Seaboard Marine
Style, man, style. You get style points for that.
Oh yeah.
Those are looking good. And what are these holes for?
These are for clearing, so we can put a drill bit through there, so I can drill the bottom of the isolator.
Oh, okay.
Down here for the spacing.
Just to mark it?
No, so I can actually use a long drill bit. Goes all the way
Drill
down
all the way through? All painted.
Yeah.
Ready to go in the boat. All right, here comes the engine. This is the engine for the Restless. QSL9. 335 horsepower at 1800 RPM. It's already has a pulley on there for the raw water pumps off because we're doing keel cooled.
Yes.
And haven't done too much to it yet to get it ready, but here it is. All right, what are we doing here?
All right, we're installing the custom-made brackets. Yeah.
Be dropping that motor in before you know it. The motor's just sitting right over here, ready to go. Maybe tomorrow we're gonna try getting the motor in here and see where it's gonna sit. We can get the front mounts going. Just taking the bolts off the pallet. Got it all rigged up here. We like to use this system with 2 come-alongs. It allows you to tilt the engine as you drop it in. It gives you a lot of control. Works pretty well. And then our forklift beam. So, pretty simple system, but it was pretty effective. That's pretty good, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but over
To
here.
the right, to the right.
To the right, a little bit. There!
Okay, come down. Want to do the rest of the come along?
Yeah.
Okay. You're in a pretty good spot now.
Okay, I need to back up a little more, Jay. See how I'm not centered?
A little bit to the right, huh?
Yeah, I'm not. You keep it like this. And
Okay.
I want to back up this way.
Okay. Okay, the weight's coming off.
That's good. That's good. That's good. All right.
Blocks in the back.
Yeah. There's.
Want to twist it a little bit? It's kind of twisted.
Yeah. Okay. The net.
Yeah, it's on the boat. Do you want to use the A-frame to swing the gear in, or the forklift?
I think the apron will be safer.
Plus, it'll be easier to slide it over.
Yeah.
Okay, got the A-frame set up. Gonna try to lift up the gear and get it into position. We're close. It's like literally an 1/16 of an inch away.
Oh, what's the binding though?
The shift cable bracket is hitting the bulkhead.
Oh, you have it on the weight or something?
Yeah, it's not
Man, that thing barely fit, huh, Frank?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go this way a little bit, Jay.
With the gear or the engine?
With the engine,
Yeah.
because if you lift, you're gonna bind more.
Okay.
So can you give me the pry bar? All right, so I should have brought wedges.
There you go.
No, wait. Jay?
Yep.
You come up a tiny bit.
Coming up.
Hold it.
Just one click. Oh yeah, it's going in there. So we're using the isolators just to twist the transmission a little bit to line up the holes better. So now you guys got the transmission and the engine paired together, and you just bring it all back and line it up with the shaft, right?
Yeah, well, I can't do a perfect alignment because we don't have the right coupling.
Right, but you're just trying to get close.
Yeah.
What about room for the PTO off the gear?
Well, we're gonna cut a hole in the
Just gonna cut a hole in the bulkhead?
Have to.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a clutch and a pump.
All right, we got it in here. It was a little tricky, but it fits. In the next video, we're gonna cover the exhaust and the keel cooler. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. Thanks again.